we had none and we were about to go on a march. That's the important stuff, and that's got to, we have to be able to depend on one another to keep that kind of post at the top of the page and let the arguments go, please.
Elizabeth.
Something to keep in mind, not even on, like, if you're not arguing, but if somebody posts a picture and everybody likes it and everybody comments on it, that is going to push the announcements down too. Because people see announcements and they're like, oh, I should bring water. They don't usually post, oh, I should bring water in the comment section. So that's one argument I have for locking the Facebook down. Because even if it's not argument oriented, some other like articles or pictures or something are still pushed to the top.
All right, can I get a quick temperature check on everybody? Should we move on? Seriously, Facebook for an hour and a half? No? I think that's a consensus. We're going to get James in here, one last thing.
Yeah, I sound like a broken record, but this is actually something I put out to the group before, too. Everybody here can be an unofficial administrator. All you have to do, when you see a troll, when you see somebody who's like, oh man, I want to bring my rifle to the site this week, just post positive things like, hey, I went down to the site this week, everybody's friendly and great, give them a chance. Like, all you have to do is be a reasonable, decent human being, post good information, don't feed anybody back. Say, hey, you know what, man, obviously you had a bad experience, we love you, come out to the site. Just, everybody around here can do that.
And moving on.
All right, I just kind of wanted to make a closing statement. As kind of we are not using those discussion forums enough, how many people here actually have accounts on there? Like, how many actually go to that? By a show of hands. All right, well, I guess your mission for tonight is to go home and make an account and start using that instead. From my point of view, not from the entire group, start using that to do your discussions, keep the important stuff on the Facebook page.
Thank you very much. It's a fantastic website, it really is.
Okay, moving on. One real quick.
For those of you who don't know, Devin is the guy who made the website, so that's where all that was coming from, the creator of the website.
And a beautiful website it is. Okay, our next agenda point is on the topic of the Internet Wireless Hotspot. It's been brought to my attention that we received a kind of quick in and out donation today. I feel like Tim knows all about that, so why don't you do the preliminary information and then I'll bring us to the hotspot.
I got a call yesterday in the middle of the day. Out of nowhere was this woman from New York, Wall Street. She says, I heard James said you needed a thing for your live stream. And I said, yeah, you're right. She said, well, we're leaving tonight. Where are you going? We're on the way. They drove down here. They got stuck in traffic for 3 hours on the way down here. It took them 11 hours to drive down here, and they hand-delivered this to me. I'm literally still in my blanket from waking up. And when they hop in my tent, she whips it out, she gets on the phone with somebody, she gives me all the information, she says, it's time. It's time to get your live stream going. It was really, really amazing. And they just left right afterwards. They just were gone. So, her name is... Hold on. Sorry. Her name is Noya. She's a fantastic, fantastic girl.
Okay. Okay. Now, I believe that the missing component is the internet connection.
That's it.
So what we need is an internet hotspot to give us wireless internet so that we can get our 24/7 live stream up and running. I do not currently have a price on that, but I wanted to go ahead and open up. Is anybody able to just pick that up in the next 24 hours? Hotspot, wireless, point of information.
Alright, so head of the technology group, I'd kind of like to give some additional information about that. Most of the time that can only be done on a smartphone, and most of the time it is actually end up being slow. I know that someone from a local group here had come around and was talking about using a directional antenna to use someone's Wi-Fi that already let us actually go over there and use it. So we're kind of working on that. But for right now, we need to get by with using hotspots on smartphones. My phone has it. Anytime anyone needs to use a laptop, they can just come ask me. I'll turn it on for you for however long you need. I got unlimited, don't care. He needs it as well, so if you need it... Anita as well has that as well. I don't know if she's volunteering, sorry to call you out, but... yeah, but when it comes to the hotspot thing, by the way, it's not just something we can drop in. Like, we can't just bring a router here and drop it in. We need to have, like, a landline somewhere that we can plug it into is the problem. So it's not something we can just bring out here.
The one that she was talking about, actually, we can.
Oh, we can do that, actually.
Like a little card you buy at Best Buy.
Oh, yeah, all right. Right, so essentially what that is it's like a card that comes from Sprint or Verizon or something like that you essentially bring in and it hooks up to their network and broadcasts the Wi-Fi signal. They're $60 a month, just the only thing is that you have to add it to your contract. If you want to do that, and feel comfortable with that, come see me. I'll be around here all tonight. There is a... What?
I would just like one more point of information. You can also get pay per ones, pay as you go type things. Rob?
The other thing to add in this too, because I'm consulting Devin on half of this. The thing to keep in mind with these Wi-Fi cards is they do have a cap on them. When we hit that cap for most providers, they will cut it off. So if we end up going that route and everybody wants to have access to Wi-Fi here, you need to keep in mind what you're downloading, what you're using, because you may very well cut our stream when we run out of data.
Moving on? Yep. Alright.
Okay, so it seems pretty clear that we need to put our tech heads together. Well, if there's an expenditure involved, we will of course bring it to General Assembly and we'll vote on it. Moving on.